hand, 2, 3, yes! 2, 3, yes!
It wakes you up when you do that in the morning because you sort of get your brain thinking.
2, 3, yes! 2, 3, yes!
This class is celebrating the athletic and artistic success of two pupils.
This is the new front cover of the Student Planner, designed by our very own Meg. Also, we have Claire, who has just been selected to run for the Year 8 running team, even though she's in Year 7, because she's so amazing. So, both hands in the air, please. Both hands in the air. That's it. Both hands in the air. Okay, the right hand is for Meg, the left hand is for Claire.
I think it's really important to remind students that they're not just part of a machine, that they're not just like a little cog that's forgotten about. It's really important that they have a self-awareness, but also an empathy with other students and other people, because like students can forget that teachers are people as well, you know what I mean? And you want to encourage them that you're actually in a community, a really good community.
Self-awareness and empathy are two of the 5 touchstones of SEAL. The others are managing feelings, motivation and social skills. But what are the touchy-feely words aimed at actually achieving?
2 years ago, when we had our last Ofsted, were commented for the high number of exclusions. So one area that we looked to use was obviously SEAL, to try and reduce the number of fixed-term exclusions.
If you develop this whole ethos of a culture of conversation, a culture of understanding between staff and students, that is bound to have an effect on behaviour.
Right from the word go, for me, it was about the whole school. This was not about PHSE lessons or drama lessons. It was about embedding it across the whole of our school curriculum. And that was where we started.
Bonjour! Ça va? Excellent, super. This lesson is going to be more team rather than group work. I want you this time, I'm going to give you a few tasks and I want you to finish it off as a team. Hopefully by the end of this lesson, all of you should be able to tell me, answer my question, what do you do to help around the house, and you should give me a massive paragraph which I would be proud to hear a GCSE student give me that answer. I'm teaching a Year 7 French, and the whole idea is to put a seal within our lesson. And the way I do it in here is by having teamwork rather than group work, because I find they work a lot harder and focus more if they know whatever they're doing in the classroom contributes to the team.
Working in teams is not, it sort of makes things easier because you have more ideas that come together, and it can sometimes make something brilliant rather than just having one person saying one idea and doing it themselves. But you can sort of add more things when you have team members.
I'm going to show you something on a slide, and this slide could have words, could have lines, could have pictures, could have shapes. I want you to reproduce, it'd be like a photocopier. Each team is going to be a photocopier, and I want you to go back and reproduce that slide, each team as accurate as you can.
I'm rubbish at remembering things, but I'm good at getting them down. I'm not very good drawer, but I'll try. What do I have to draw?
Why don't you draw? I mean, I write and someone else can. You can write.
Yeah. I'm not writing.
I draw. You can write and someone else can draw it.
I just want them to start thinking how they can work with each other, how they can support each other, like this peer teaching, peer assessing and peer correcting. The most important is I want them doing the work.
A bed. I've done it. Do it again. Why? Just do it really quick. No, down here. Just do it again.
Right. Then what was after the bed, Jack?
The dog.
What a picture?
The dog. The dog, which we've done.
What's the point drawing it again?
We've done all them.
It's because we just got to draw pictures.
At the bottom it says one for
My brother.
and my brother doesn't help at all, whatever that is in French.
At the beginning it probably was a jump from teaching to learning. That was a big step, and it was, the planning was it took more time, more thinking about it. But once the ball's rolling, it's a lot easier, and it's easier now than a traditional lesson, because I feel I'll spend less time, but I'm less tired as well.
And then we shared the cool à la maison.
L. Aspirator.
I think if we're trying to develop a school based along SEAL objectives, then what we've got to do is be prepared to sit down and have adult conversations with students. And I think in doing that, you then develop relationships between students and staff, and that's what SEAL's about.
The SEAL model is used in lessons, but it also informs other aspects of school life. The school council at William Howard School has been replaced with an executive forum.
What we want to achieve by this meeting is to develop student and staff relationships and encourage students to express their opinions about teaching and learning.
Basically, it's an attempt to get the student voice out into the school and to allow students to voice opinions or bring up ideas or affect policy.
At Manchester, they talked about having student observers in lessons. I don't know how they actually implemented having observers, but do you think that would be a reasonable idea? And how would we begin to get a group of people together that could observe?
I'm not going to mention any names, but on that forum there were 2 or 3 students who at times their behaviour can be challenging. But in that setup, they take it ever so seriously. They work really hard, they listen, and no messing about. They're doing a job that they think is really, really important.
You have forum meetings, that's with just your year, and every forum group collect pieces of paper saying what people want, and then you talk about them in the forum meetings, and then we send them away to the head teacher or someone else that can make a difference.
We're going to have to know which teachers are open to it and just go and do
it a bit differently.
Yeah. Go and do it without giving them any warning.
Maybe we could invite some of the teachers who are already doing it to see what their thinking is behind the questions they ask. And
now, if we were to do that with them and then say, actually, no, we're not going to implement your ideas, no, we're not going to go with that, they'd give up. They'd give up. And I think that's one of the reasons that we've maybe taken a while to actually develop the executive forum at the school, because for so long, student council at this school didn't really have the clout with the students that it should have done. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to report back to the leadership team, Mrs. Hughes and the other members of the leadership team. I'll do that on Monday night and just say that this is the next step that we're going to take to move forward.
there were definitely a few sort of teething problems with the non-important things coming to forum, but
mainly
we seem
chips.
to have, mainly food and that sort of thing.
Chips.
But we seem to have ironed most of the problems out now, and we're having more serious discussions of actually getting things done. So we're going to invite them and talk about why they like using the forms, because we think maybe if we can find out what made them want to start using it, then we can use that to persuade other teachers to join.
Good morning, everybody.
Registration at William Howard often involves game playing, again part of the SEAL approach.
We also have tutor time projects happening within school, which happen for all of our Key Stage 3.
Okay, when I go through the register, could you please frustration circle the register? Movement is silent, but at the same time you only say the name of the person after you in the register. If somebody isn't here, miss that name out and go to the next person. Easy peasy. Right. From the top, Jordan. Go to Carl. Come on, Jordan, don't worry.
Play this game called Frustration Circle. It's a way of sort of being aware of other people in the room, being aware that people are present, they're actually there, you can talk to them. And it's also a way of mixing up the group, so they're sitting next to people they wouldn't normally sit next to.
You sort of get your brain thinking, who's next in the register next to me? And then you've got to think where they're sitting, and then you've got to move over there.
I missed the first thing off the bulletin. Can somebody please remind me, what is the thought for the week this week? Go for it.
Is it none of us is smarter than all of us?
None of us is smarter than all of us. Let's just check the actual way that's written. None of us is smart as all of us. I think that's worth the merit.
It helps us because we feel more confident, because he just doesn't care how great we are or not like how bad we are. He thinks about our attitudes and personality as well. So if we just keep that in each class, we can do the best we can and be much happier.
And go.
The school's SEAL coordinator holds regular feedback sessions with teachers to see how well ideas like Thought for the Week and the Frustration Circle are working.
Have you found it useful? We've got the Thoughts for the Week and the sort of SEAL's programme in place? Is it useful to have the two linked together?
I like the fact that year 7s, we talk about stuff for thought for the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then typically on a Friday, we'd have an assembly. And that assembly would then be linked to that thought for the week, which obviously is a programme which has been done deliberately and it's engineered, but at the same time, the students feel like they've got an insight into it. They feel like they actually understand it, which is nice.
It is very much an ongoing process, because when you're introducing something like the SEALS project, some people don't feel confident initially because it's outside their normal comfort zone of the sort of subject matter that they teach. So by being able to go in and watch what happens in the tutor lessons, it's a way of kind of building up the confidence and just exploring the possibilities that different people with different skills can use. And what was really obvious from watching this particular group was the kind of relationship that there is between the kids in the classroom and yourself, and the confidence that they actually have to express their ideas and not worry.
Yeah.
It was really nice to watch that this morning.
Pupils who need additional support, often because of behavioural problems, attend emotional literacy groups.
What is the best age to be? About 6, because you can still have fun, but you don't have a lot of responsibility.
So is responsibility hard?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've got a lot of responsibility now?
Yeah, lots.
The year group managers get information from form teachers, and they see the behaviour and they get an idea of which pupils are either struggling, either behaviourally, academically, emotionally, and so they suggest to us a name of pupils that they think will benefit from what we offer.
What are your first kind of thoughts about self-esteem? Should we have just anyone just shout out any ideas? What is self-esteem?
Keeping control for yourself.
Excellent.
The bad self-esteem is on rubbish at everything.
It's something that can change all the time.
So taking them out of the classroom and having them sitting around a table in a small group allows the students to feel noticed, really. So we can really work on things like what is self-esteem, what is assertiveness, and look at issues around behaviour and how we behave and what makes us behave that way and how feeling's effective.
Do you think anger's a bad thing?
Sometimes.
Mainly.
Not all the time.
Why?
You need it if you were a lawyer or something, because you need to like stand up for yourself.
So channeling it into kind of
into your, if
the
you
right
were angry,
way.
you'd wanna do it more. You know, you'd wanna be like,
it's like that
wanna
passion.
get it right.
Yeah, passion and motivation.
Yeah.
Teachers will reference the stuff that we're working on here, and we will with things that they're working on in the classroom as well, and it just helps to underpin the whole SEALS message.
Well, it helps me and it helps a lot of other kids, because you think of school as just learning in classrooms. When you go there, you learn and you have fun as well. So it's really good.
This isn't about something new. This is about us creating the sort of school that people want to come to, both staff and students. And that it's about what we're doing. And it is nothing more than high quality teaching and learning, and absolutely understanding that it's about the child and focusing on that whole child.